one was too hard. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel. If you want, I appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks to Drifter and the Core Bane guy for actually donating to the channel with the super like, super chat, whatever. You should too. If you don't donate, whatever, you're a bad person. You're a bad person. You're going to hell. If I teach you anything new, that's what you should do. So I want to talk a little bit more about CVS1 versus CVS2. I want to talk about reversals. You know, stuff you might not know, and I really snapped my finger too hard there. And I'm going to use the example of Ryu's Hopkick as an example of the CVS2's just brain fart decision making, and a little bit of a conversation piece at the end. Okay, so why did I say CVS2 is almost like a game like they didn't proofread it correctly, or there's almost a sort of like arbitrary, like make every move a little bit worse because we're not going to actually test the game. Right? We're not going to beta test very long, so just make every move a little bit worse. Besides maybe Cammy, right? She's obviously much faster than CVS1. Well, let's look at something like, say, a situation like this. Say Sagat does like a meaty fireball, blah, 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 blah. We might think we should be able to reversal hurricane kick through this, right? Well, you can see reversal on the screen and I don't go through it, right? Which is complete bullshit. Now, let's say if we were to try to do something just for sake of argument, a hop kick. Well, it beats the hop kick. Well, why is something like that stupid? Well, first of all, the hurricane kick should be able to go through it, right? It should have invincibility at the startup, I think, just like Super Turbo. But remember, one of the weird things about hop kick on CVS2 is you can literally see that he's jumping higher. But because he jumps higher, it misses a lot of characters anyway, right? And also it's punishable and all this kind of stuff. However, I said before that the hop kick in CVS1 is kind of weird too, right? But the difference is the hop kick, although it can still miss characters, some characters in the game ducking, because he actually is still going higher, the move actually does kind of function like he goes over attacks properly. And I'm going to show you this, right? So let's say we're right here, right? We try to hurricane kick as a reversal and we get hit. Retarded. I know. It's retarded. I don't like it. I'm a purist. It's retarded, right? But if we were to look at CVS1, well, guess what? If we hop kick on wake up, it will go through the fireball. Shocking. Hop kick actually even goes through Guile's sonic boom in this game, okay? It actually functions as a sort of ghetto jumping attack. Now, because of this, it actually can miss characters ducking, right? However, you can see a sort of actual mind game, let's say there, or a use of the move that is not actually proper in CVS2. So let's look at it again, right? See, I go over it. Isn't that kind of interesting, right? Again, boom. Oh, this is another weird thing about CVS2. Again, or CVS1, excuse me. So I got hit by there, but if you watch this, I went through it. CVS1, and I'm going to talk about this, let me go back to the hop kick though before that. So the hop kick, what I was getting at, why it's weird, is in CVS1, you can see that they made the move jump higher, right? And you can see they made a use for it compared to the hurricane kick. They made it so hurricane kick actually isn't invincible when he gets up, you know what I mean, to go through some of these low attacks. But the hop kick actually does. And it can even go through sort of mid fireballs. It can go through a Guile Sonic Boom in this game. It goes through Sagat's low tiger shot, right? However, the drawback is, and it does more, it actually kind of does stun. You don't get punished like in CVS2. However, the drawback is that, of course, well, guess what? It can miss characters in this game. So CVS2, it's just all the badness. It doesn't even hit characters properly. It misses half the characters. And a lot of times the characters it can hit, you get punished if it hits. And it doesn't even function like although it's physically jumping higher, it doesn't actually go over any higher attack than it looks like it would. It's fucking weird. So what I was showing though there, another weird thing about reversals in CVS1 is seemingly, for some reason, you get like an extra frame of invincibility if you're not just actually in neutral or trying to block. So if you press down or you do any kind of attack, the game seemingly, I can't say this for sure, you know what I mean? Because there's actually not a lot of knowledge on the game. And a lot of this stuff is just when I was pretty young. I couldn't even drive when I was going to tournaments for this game. Like I said, I could not drive until after Reload came out. And I was still winning tournaments, okay? So, you gotta remember, I was pretty young when I was like writing info about this game, and even some of this stuff I haven't seen posted because the game only was played for about a year, right? But I digress, right? But seemingly you get like a extra freebie frame when you get up. I couldn't exactly explain it to you. But something else about this game is when you hit a character and they get knocked down the wrong way, certain moves that like rush towards you, when you reversal, your character also flies the wrong way. So if we're gonna watch this here, right? Kim. Oh, God. Flies the wrong way. However, let's watch this again. So one thing you can see when you reversal in this game, if you didn't know, you actually flash white, right? So that's why I say, I don't know if it's because there's a sort of weird reversal system in this game, but see, this goes the right way. And if he does his beat 'em up super, he goes the right way. So it's not like every single move, and there's a Ryu Hopkick, you know, he goes the right way, right? So it's just certain rush supers for some reason that they go the wrong way. I don't program games. I don't know why that is. Maybe there's some sort of X-axis, Y-axis. The super is fucked with this way, and if you're first in the wrong way, I don't fucking know, right? I don't know. I don't program games. I don't know why that is, but I do know it's that way, and I only bring this up too because it is sort of, I think if you were to see the Kim example, if you had not seen the rest of the game, you might think, oh, is this like actually something in the meta, right? Because then you could say, well, if I throw a character, if I knock down a character this way, and they stand up normally, right, then they still reversal the same way. But if I have a throw that knocks them the wrong way and they reversal, they'll always go the wrong way. And who knows, then maybe there's actually sort of a KOF sort of meta, especially if you're in the corner, or maybe a specific player 1 or player 2 cross up thing like in Guilty Gear. However, that doesn't actually exist in this game. It's just kind of like a straight up bug as far as I know, that some moves, rush supers, actually go the wrong way. And it's not even everyone, it's just some characters. So it's more sort of just almost like a specific character matchup thing, like, oh, I knocked down Kim in the corner and now I don't have to worry about him rush supering through a fireball because he's always going to go the wrong way as a reversal. That kind of thing. And finally, to end this on, you know, something that bothers me about CVS1 and CVS2 is I think a lot of people have talked about the character selection is kind of weird, the character roster. And just because I had done the King of Fighters stuff recently, I always say I think it's such a shame that K is not in this game. And it's so weird to me. And, you know, I've talked about how I feel that CVS1 and CVS2 feel very biased in their design decisions. They're just all around, right? And I always feel like K is another good example that you have the King of Fighter, who this game is 2001. K was already the main character for 3 games, and K is not in the game. Even though I think actually in the beginning of CVS1, K is in the background. They show him shooting his fire move from King of Fighters 99, which is weird, right? But K is not in the game. And I've always felt that personally, and I know this is kind of like a nerdy discussion, maybe not exactly a deep dive into game discussion. I've always felt that it was kind of like Capcom was jealous that K is just too much of a cool character to put in the game. Because if you put in K, you would have had to put in Alex of, like, say, Street Fighter 3. And obviously Street Fighter 3 was such a huge, you know, even this was before the Daigo parry, which made people think that Street Fighter 3 was a popular game, right? Street Fighter 3, you couldn't pay people to play Street Fighter 3 back in the day, right? Especially the first game, Jesus, right? And I always feel like the reason that Capcom did not put in K is because they were so insecure that they're like, wait a second, if we put in K, we would have to put in Alex because Alex is our new main character, right? And they're like, oh, fuck, Street Fighter 3 is so god-awfully unpopular. And they're like, we can't put K in because K is like, you know, K is not the most popular King of Fighter character, but he's decently popular. And he's so much more cool than Alex. It's absurd. And I think that's another reason that goes to show what a design decision that you could tell that Capcom was very insecure at this time, I feel like. But remember, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel. I appreciate the super like, the super chat, whatever. Remember, if you learned anything new, be like the Cobain and Drifter guy donating to the channel. It helps. The end.